we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. And they're going to get rougher. Remember, the immigrants, I condemn the immigrants before I condemned you. They're paying now what they did to me, and you're doing it. Remember, Republicans are the ones that used them too. They're Democrats, but they're Republicans also. So right now, I curse my attorneys. Obviously, they're part of blocking me from getting to the VA. I've never seen such block on my ability to petition the VA. I did it on my own, and it was in no time. I cursed them, I cursed them, I cursed them. Yeah, rah. They'll see that they want to start removing themselves from blocking my case. They already paid, probably $1 million. Maybe $2 million. They don't care. Billionaires don't care what the money is, man. Satan pays them every day for being corrupt pieces of shit. There, one of them looks like a crime boss to me. They look like a bunch of rockheads. What they do is they bring people in that know what they're doing. Again, some of them steal stuff from me and other people who had knowledge and information and ideas. My brother's part of it. He's a piece of shit too. He says they don't owe you anything. What do you mean you don't owe? That's the system. That's how you. If I sit down with my brother and actually try to investigate it and talk to him about it, he believes that the system automatically pays you. Right. But like all of you, he's a piece of shit. He's doing what you want right now. That's why I can only get to maybe Ohio. Right. So he's repelling me. That's why I could never get to Philadelphia. He does it inside. And he does it based upon what you do to him. He'll get paid. When I land in Ohio and not Philadelphia, he'll see an up in his money. Or they'll stop following him every day. And they'll tell him, the reason we're following you is your brother. Your brother needs help. You need to put your brother away, which is weird. But I guess because it won't happen in Pennsylvania. Right? Once my brother meets me, it'll probably change, like the first time. Because I'm not real. Again, it's spycraft. I'm not a real person until I'm there. Right? The only thing my attorneys did was block me from claiming additional disability very quickly for my hearing loss. That's the only thing that's been done out of it. So again, it worked in reverse. And it's not God, because the God of this world is Satan. So when you say it's God, I know you're saying it's Satan. I can read everything. So when we see all these people in churches getting arrested for pedophilia, they're the victims of the deep state. The other pedophiles are kept doing what the deep state says because they're pedophiles. But what they do is they operate the person in church to be a pedophile and then point the finger at, there's the pedophile. And then when they come along and they want to torture somebody and try to break their mind into being a pedophile, they'll say, oh, they're just like the other guy. And by fabricating an investigation, they communicate with one another and tell them what the outcome should be. It's extortion, organized crime, or extortion, racketeering, that kind of thing. But then sometimes it's just murdering somebody for a murder contract. Like they did Johnson. Like they did all them deputies. They spend every day, while this guy, what they do is they'll load the work up for the victim. And they'll spend every single fucking day, every fucking single day, single minute of the day, fucking and torturing their victim using spycraft. for some criminal boss outside government. Now, the contact will be who? Will be a Spanish guy? Will be a white guy? Well, it'll be what it takes. A former supervisor in the Marshal Service who was a criminal, an organized crime member. That's who the contact was in, what was it? I forget that guy's name. He used to be a supervisor in the Marshal Service in Baltimore. He was the contact. An organized crime boss. He uses deputies to hit people and then pays them. And of course, the CIA also pays them. They don't let you see the amount of time and the effort that they put into doing this to my life. Oh, I'm free to go outside and what? So I didn't go to the gym because you caught me and I'm either having a nervous breakdown or I'm not dealing well with what I've done to somebody. In reality, the women and men in the gyms that are part of it are devils and evil eyes, and they're casting spells on me. Sexual spells. On top of everything else. And if you interview them, they'll say, well, you look like he was picking me up, trying to pick me up. When she was the one trying to make it look like she was trying to pick me up. It doesn't matter if you reciprocate. You understand all that. Well, they'll be cursed, and the gym system there will be cursed. I can fully expect the economy to crash. I really do. They have to pay for it. You all have to pay for what's happening in my life. You think the Ukrainian war just happened? You think that sieve of money and everything else just happened out of thin air? It looks like we're entering into something where they're going to say, well, it's just going to be a rehash of 6 months ago. Zelensky has to do this. That's it. This is what has to happen. It's just they're going to browbeat him again, and Europe's going to go, no. Right. Like I told you, Europe's ready to finance the whole thing. Right? They can't do anything right. They're bungling idiots. They steal everything they do that works. Right? They said that they put me in jail. They're full of shit. There's a system to put people in jail to begin with. A system that protects you all and puts your enemies in jail and your victims in jail. And protect you all as criminal bosses. This is their scam. They put me in jail. You'll die in hell over and over and over. That's what hell's like. Most of them find some sort of religion by the time they're 40. So they can say, wow, we the church, we the synagogue, we the Sikh, we the Hare Krishna, we the Muslim. Right. Because the CIA needs them to do that so they can take over their mind again. Again, CIA's contractors, former cartel spies. Iran told you they are already manipulating the American government 2 years ago. 3 years ago, 3 years ago. They were doing it through the spycraft. All you got to do is pay somebody. Right? There's so many Hansons and so many aims, but it's accepted now. You just got to get your money a certain way. As long as you do what the deep state tells you, they don't care how you get money. I mean, government's going to fail. I mean, they'll probably tell us they're succeeding. You just fired some additional great investigators. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. It's going to get you all in a case. You're going to be prosecuted. They're going to be so pissed off at you in 4 years, or less than 4 years, probably 3 years, I think 3.5 years, they're going to prosecute you. And we'll just be going through it again and again. I guarantee you'll be prosecuted for what you did to the federal agents. But at first, you're going to fail the government. I mean, Russians are laughing. You fired everybody that investigates them. Right. It takes years upon years to even develop the knowledge to run those investigations. What happened is you went in and a bunch of pieces of shit like Slickster and Little Girl who can't do an effing thing right, kissed your ass and told you it's that person, fire that person, go after that person, and you, yeah. Well, because here's my card carrying, I'm a card carrying member of your political party. Of course you want to listen to me. This happens all the time. I didn't know anything when I left the government. I probably, the Army, I probably shouldn't have, but, I had a family and I made sure, and I actually made a good move. But they were begging me to come back in. Begging me not to go, begging me to come back in. But they were setting me up so I needed to go. That's probably good. It's all the same people. They couldn't get me in the military because it's just not a place you can do it. Like me going in the federal government was their attempt. They're doing it right now. They're going, apply to ICE. They used to do, apply to Secret Service. Yeah. They're freaks, man. Oh, they're going to let me in, that's obvious, but they'll just, say they have a right to do all this shit to me and look at my life and all that. But there's no reason for them to look at my life. But I surmise me going in the government, they thought I'd be gone in a year or two. Because they kill people. Like the probationary year, they kill you. And then they get rid of you and then your life is ruined. Right? The worst thing I ever did was go in government. A bunch of pieces, they're all pieces of shit. Looking for the next dollar. But I treated everybody fair and well. Right. Want to make me an orgy, sit at my desk taking medicine all day. Shaky Jake. That's what they do to veterans in there. I'm a veteran, I'm doing okay. But you're a piece of shit devil. You're not a veteran any longer. And then you see, Big Ball's the hero, but Luma tells us that this one guy's not a hero because Obama hosted him at a dinner when the conflict was going on. Obama was president. So you tell me anybody associated with Obama is what? She's a piece of shit. She's a nobody. Poof. She'll have to struggle to stay up now. No, but Big Balls is the hero. He's the hero. He should have that medal. Because he's too stupid not to be carjacked in D.C. Or at least try to carjack. Lucky the cops were around. Right. I mean, you're going to have to stop at some point, all of you. or you're going to fuck off everything we're doing to try to save the country. And maybe you don't care. Maybe you do your 4 years, you get twice as rich and laugh about it. So here we have a Medal of Honor winner who hurled himself somehow at, I didn't read the details, at a suicide bomber who shouldn't be given anything because Obama said, here's a public message that I can use as president, we'll just do it. And, and he's like, oh, the president, oh, I should say I'm not going to go because Trump's going to be president in a couple of years and Loomer's going to be a big bitch who fires people. And talks about Marjorie Taylor Greene's sexual proclivities. So we should not go. What are you, stupid, Loomer? You and your buddy Big Ball going to be Medal of Honor winners in everybody's mind? Comrades? They're playing that proletariat game, right? If you ask me, Loomer's just jealous of any woman that was around Trump. Yeah, ask me, that's what it is. And the spies know it. They think it's funny. Because the spies aren't Democrat or Republican. They're playing both sides of the house. They'll look like it. They'll play the part. The Loomer's a useful idiot. Disrespect some guy, gets a Medal of Honor because he happened to go to a dinner hosted by Obama during a conflict. Doesn't it make sense that he would go as part of, honoring the military that he was part of? Maybe helping with the war effort? But, Loomer back then was trying to be somebody, right? She's going to create her new self, her new Jewish self, right? I think, did Marjorie say that she was operated by spies or foreign spies? U.S. spies too, Marjorie. But you are too sometimes. So we can't get to the point that I'm repulsed by women trying to touch me for some government and criminal enterprise honeypot scheme. But it's because I'm guilty of something. Because I didn't push through. But when I push through, you cancel my membership at a massage therapy location. Right. So the scam is that if I push through, it's a scam. If you push through, then they destroy your life. And besides, I don't want to be touched by those people. They're sick whores. They're worse than the lie. Part of a witch's coven. And they all project sexuality on their victim. And gain entrance into that person's. And they'll say, well, if you were with God, they wouldn't be able to do this and they wouldn't gain entrance. And bullshit. That's how people get married. They feel good with one another, and they get married. The inside exists. But the problem is you're all whores and sluts and succubies and incubes. So if you get entrance into that love, you all turn it into sexuality. That's the scam. That's their spycraft scam. For all I know, they're good future CIA agents or officers. You kill a few Americans and they send you overseas, you become a millionaire and a billionaire. That's a test to get into the CIA, kill an American. Like John Luna. And they let you in, go overseas. I mean, you're in probably, but then you go overseas and get the big job. And become the millionaire agent. living the multimillionaire life. But we need to do this because, it's our cover. Right. We're part of a criminal society. Devils. Every last one of you is of a devil. Meanwhile, you're pointing at the sinners that you caused to fall and say, oh, that's over there. Lo, Christ is not there. Lo, Christ is over here. And again, his name wasn't Christ. His name wasn't Jesus. That was a bunch of mythology. His name was Yeshua ben David, and he's Jewish. Right. There's nobody named Paul. His name was Saul. There's nobody named Peter. His name was Shimon Bar Yonah, or Simon Bar Yonah, if you prefer. His name is Shimon, I believe, and Simon is a Romanized. See, that's the first Romanization of the name. Right. So he had a nickname, people have nicknames. Especially Jewish people. Rabbi, has a buddy in the church, a guy that's like what do they call it, a shamus. Nickname him something. That's all it is. So his name was Kepha, rock. So they translated it apparently somewhat into Greek, because I don't think it's a direct name of Peter. Well, Peter is actually a Romanization of the Greek. You see how they did this? How they twisted everything? Just kept changing. Next thing you know, they're killing Jews and calling it good. Now they're a deep state. No, but we're conservatives. We're not the deep state. It's a scam. I'm the first one to bring up the deep state, and I called it Federico. The problem is, how do we shed ourselves of this thing? Well, we'll call it the deep state and say it's a Democrat. Who do you think made the trans people? Now, the Democrats did your bidding, but you willed it into existence, and you psyoped it into existence. Republicans have been trying to make me gay for 35 years now? And Democrats do it too. But the Republicans are the ones that say they don't do it. All right. Republicans, I'm probably the most heterosexual, woman-loving man in existence. Spies used they're like challenged by it. Let's see if we can make this guy gay because he wants to be with a woman. Again, that's a way to kill somebody. Freak out and they kill themselves. But I'll tell you what, more of their people have killed themselves because they did that to me than would have if they had not done that to me. They're all in hell. Including that woman, if she was part of it, again, I'm saying if she was part of it, most likely she was, they were one of the early ones that did it to me. The ones based in Miami, the sex investigators out of Miami. Right. She got shot by some guy that they probably did some psycho shit to. Was he a pedophile? I don't know. Can't trust a single one of them. Would he have been a pedophile without them? Probably not. Probably nobody would be a pedophile, because again, we get to the metaphysics of it and how we heal those things. So at least I heal it. I don't know if anybody else on the planet's interested. Well, because it doesn't get you money if you heal it. They went around whacking heads in Florida using the FBI sex squads, and one day one of them got killed. And if she's part of it, just because she got killed serving a warrant doesn't mean she's going to heaven. I mean, what kind of crazy shit is that? I mean, Jesus didn't really even like a guy, Yeshua ben David, not Jesus, but he didn't like law enforcement. Because he knew it was corrupt. See? And they go, oh no, Jesus would be a cop if he was here. Well, you're making the need for cops. Again, are you stupid? You don't realize what I'm saying? You can't digest it? You're devils, and you cause a need for cops physically, metaphysically, and psychologically with the shit that you all do. Otherwise, we wouldn't need cops. We'd heal it. We'd be in Shangri-La. We'd be in heaven. Right. All you're doing is my stuff, and that's why you're succeeding. Again, and people will, if you do it right, the people will have a good life because of what I told you to do, 10, 20 years ago. And since then. I'm the father of truth in the social media and the Republican social media and news outlets. I'm the father of a lot of border patrol operations, and I protected them from the deep state. Right. So stay peaceful, praise God, and all you do, praise God.